What's up, guys? How we doing? Now I want to talk about something that will be very, very instrumental to you as a musician. There's no musician who hasn't doubted his or herself once, at least once, maybe due to situations or due to circumstances where he finds himself or herself at, or the kind of people they surround themselves with. So this is what we're talking about today. How to build confidence as a musician. As a singer, as an instrumentalist, whatever it is, or as a creative, we could put it at that. Now this word right here, oh my God, is bringing back memories. This thing can make or break you. Hey, it doesn't even matter how good you are. If you lose this, have you seen that you are watching some like football matches and you know this player? You are like, bro, this player can't play. Then the person starts to fumble the ball, lose the ball anyhow. Maybe it's because he or she, he or she lost a loved one, and he or she is going through something in their lives. So it's like it's not making them focus on their game that they are playing, which is the football, the soccer, anyhow you want to call it. That's the same thing. Confidence. Then you see the commentators say, oh, this guy has lost confidence in the game. Yes, it's the same thing that happens to musicians. Sometimes, I remember one time, like, I'm just playing the keyboard, but it's like some situation happened and then I lost confidence and I was just fumbling. I was like, how? And your team your team members know you. So they're like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like, bro, this is simple. Play this, like we've been playing this thing. How? Exactly. So I broke this thing down into points and I want to keep it very short. Hopefully that you guys will understand. The points are on my notes as always. So I'm going to go to the point one. The point number. This. You've seen it all the time. Such a simple word. But a lot of people have no idea how instrumental this is to build confidence. You know what they said? There's this military saying that I stick with most of the time. They say, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Practice, what is practice? The repetition of something. You do it so much that it's second nature. You are asked to go and play, let me say, a normal song or sing a normal tune. You have never sang it before. You have never played it before. You are playing it tomorrow. You go on stage. Obviously, if you are not a veteran keyboardist, veteran musician, you'll be shaking. You'll be just like you're entering an exam room and you've not studied for the paper. Obviously, you will not have confidence in what you are going to do. So, one of the most important, like the top, is if you practice. Are you a singer? Do you practice? All the time, every day, setting some goals for yourself. There's one thing I also want to say about the practice. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink the practice. There's something that they always say, repetition builds mastery. I don't want to use a Bruce Lee quote, but Bruce Lee said, I don't fear the man who has practiced 1,000 kicks. I fear the man who has practiced one kick 1,000 times. Imagine that they say I'm going to play Fair Elise, and like if I wake up every day, that's the only thing I play. I mean, if you send me, I'll be confident in myself that I could do it. You ask me to sing a song. Okay, mostly the singers is that they don't know the song or they don't know the lyrics to the song. That's one of the problems that a lot of singers have. Or even a singer, their own song, they've forgotten the lyrics to the song. That's one problem. And that's one thing that can derail their confidence level. The one that is I think is very, very noticeable for a singer is if he or she realizes that she can't sing, or she realizes that she's around people who are exceptionally good, then he or she begins to, you understand, shake. So I'm going to say one thing that could help you in this thing, which will lead me to the next topic, which is Set small achievable goals. This is a very funny topic because, like, when you're about to start a project, you know what they say, making your first $1 million is the most difficult. Making the second $1 million is the easiest. Why is it the most difficult to make the first $1 million? Because that's the beginning. It's like, in order to make a snowball or push a snowball from a mountain, the first initial steps are the most difficult because now you have to gather the momentum of it. So when you push the snowball, then it starts to roll, then gather momentum, it starts to go fast, and everything is easy, free flow. So the way to mastery is to set small achievable goals. I don't know what you want to be. If you want to be a musician, if you want to be a singer, you have to start your normal practice. You start small songs. You start with your vowel sounds. You understand? Just a normal practice. Then from there, you move to easy songs. There's a difference. You see, there's a song. It's called Sweet Love. It's one difficult song to sing. I'll always love you too. It's one difficult song to sing. The reason why Sweet Love is difficult is because the range. They start with, wait on my heart, I want you, baby. Stay with me, got it in my heart. Sweet love, hear me calling out your name. I'm gonna say I'm in love. You see, those things get a little difficult because the singer, who is Anita Baker, has sung for a long time, so she knows how to do it. But you that you are starting as a singer, you don't just go to that one. Except like you are very talented. You have to start with small achievable goals. And when you start like that, you build momentum. This is the most important thing we are looking for, as the momentum. Let me write it down. I hope I spelled it. Correct. Even if I didn't spell it, you understand what I'm saying. Momentum. If I'm playing, let's say I'm a keyboardist and I decide that today I'm going to play like the do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do. Small, right? When I start, I probably might make some mistakes. But the funny thing about playing a keyboard is that it gets to a point, your brain, right, doesn't even know what your fingers are playing because your fingers have built the momentum and the muscle memory. So it's like, I'm doing this. I don't know whether you see it. Do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re. When I started, I was watching my fingers very well to make sure that I'm on the right note. Then it gets to a point that my fingers are now autonomous. It's like my brain is not there, but my fingers are doing this. It's because I started with small achievable goals and now it's second nature. So when you see a keyboardist or a pianist playing and the person's not even looking at it, it's just it's second nature. But they didn't start just like that. They started with small achievable goals. Now, one of the things that worries you or will worry you as a musician is if you compare yourself to others. That's one thing that will worry you. Because if you start and then you watch this guy and you're like, oh my God, this guy is there. I want to do what he's doing. But you don't even know your basics. How do you want to do what the person is doing? You have to start small, focus on your goal, focus on your speed. Now, everybody has a different learning time. There are some people who learn very fast, but forget very fast. There are some people who learn very slow, but when they learn it, sticks. I mean, I've had my fair share. I would say I'm one of the people who learn very fast, and then when we get on stage, sometimes I probably might forget it, and I have to learn very fast on stage again. Do you see it? Then now, because of that, I realized the mistake. I have to relearn how to learn and let it stick. So everybody has a different path. That's why you don't have to look at what anybody is doing. You have to set your small, achievable, that's the word, goal. And then you don't have to like try and jump. There's an advantage of putting yourself in the midst of sharks, right? And there's also a disadvantage. If you don't have a strong-willed spirit, you might even give up. But if you have a strong-willed spirit, those people might just ginger you and you just learn fast. But so that's the second point I would say. Set small achievable goals. Now, this is the third point. Perform regularly. Now, why would you go for something that we call an internship? When you're in the university, they say you have to do like a 3-month internship at a job or a profession. Do you know why? It's called learning on the job. There's no faster way to learn than on the job. In the fire. I don't know what it does. It's like you hear those I don't know if it's a corny saying, but it's a very important saying. Surround yourself. If you're around the 4 rich people, you are the 5th rich person. If you're around the 4 best musicians or instrumentalists in the world, you be the 5th. Do you see those things? When you are performing regularly, one, you can be able to see all the mistakes you are making. The people around you can see the mistakes that you are making, and then they'll help you correct it, or they'll chastise you to correct it. But when you perform regularly, you can be able to see. It's just like a comedian. You can learn all the comedy techniques, comedic timing and all those things. If you don't perform in front of a crowd, the one who performs regularly is always better than you. Because he has comedy is one of the best instant gratification jobs. Because, if it's funny, don't laugh. If it's not funny, do not laugh. Feedback. Immediate feedback. Do you understand? So you can cultivate, is that the right word? Or cultivate your talent, your comedic talent, in front of the crowd. They will tell you that it's funny or not. Do you understand? Let me switch it back to the music. Now you're a singer. You're singing on stage. First of all, performing regularly will make you know how to hold the mic. Now, this is a mic. You're holding it. Let me use this, right? When you are singing, most of the time, there's no compressor on your mic. And when I say a compressor, when musicians or mixing engineers are mixing something, and the compressor is there to make sure that the level of volume of the mic, right, doesn't pass a certain threshold. Everybody is on the same level. That's what the compressor does. When you are singing, when you want to pitch and using your chest voice, you shout. Now there's a difference when you're using your head voice, like the same thing, but I'm shouting more, right? And all these things, you probably have to learn it on the job. You know that when you're singing and then you're using your chest voice and then you're pitching, you're supposed to, you understand, bring the mic back, because it's going to make a lot of noise. If you have mixing engineers that can, put compressor on your voice, you don't have a problem. But performing regularly will make you find out all those mistakes, because you probably might not be the one to make mistakes. People around you might be the ones to make mistakes. So performing regularly, very important. And this one is a good one. This one is a good one. Overcoming fear of mistakes. This particular thing holds every single person back who is always afraid. Fear. It can be a motivator, and it can also be a demotivator. Double entendre. One of the best ways to overcome fear of mistakes is that you should accept the fact that mistakes will happen. Don't, when it comes into your mind, don't push it away. Don't be like, oh my God, I'll never make a mistake. No. Accept the fact that mistakes happen. And yes, try to channel it. It's not what happens to you, it's how you react to what happens to you. That's most important. Now, there's a feeling coming that I would make a mistake. Why don't you tell yourself that every mistake is a new start? That could be one of the best things for you. You know what jazz pianists say? There's one jazz pianist, a trumpeter, it's called Miles Davis. I can't pinpoint what exactly he said, but he was resonating around the fact that mistakes, there's nothing like mistake in music. There's nothing like mistake in music. When you're singing, when you're a singer, that is when practice comes inside. Because when you try and hit a wrong note, right, there's a way you can bring yourself back to the right note. There's a way you can engage the crowd. There's a way you can stop singing, catch your breath, and the crowd will not notice. So there's this saying that a lot of musicians or experts, masters tell their students. They say, when you're performing on stage, the people in front of you, look at them like you're looking at watermelons, their heads like watermelons. Now, this is to overcome the fear of crowd, because the fear of crowd can induce mistakes that you would make. And there's another method in which we use, instead of watching the faces of the human beings, watch the top of their heads from this part. That you understand. So when you are singing, when you are performing, or when you are even doing public speaking, you are not watching the face of people. Now, the only time you get to watch the faces of people is if you are now confident and you can just watch someone's face and talk to the person. And yeah. But some people are not. Now, that is one of the remedies, because now when they do it for a long time, now they can just switch their eyes from the top here to their face. Another thing that brings the fear of mistakes is when it now comes back to the comparison. When you look at the people who you're about to perform with. So you're about to do a public speech, and then you watch, you see Miles Monroe, may so rest in peace, you see David Goggins, you see Joe Rogan, then that's you. Hey, my goodness. Now, one of the remedies in which we use, let me use instrumentalists too. One of the remedies in which we instrumentalists use is that I came here to do what I have to do and take my money and bounce. I don't care who else comes to speak, who doesn't come to speak, blah, 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 blah. That's it. Do you understand? One of the other remedies is that you probably might not want to be around when the other people are speaking. Just tell the people that they should give you your time. And then you come. Okay, they say you come to speak at 7 p.m., right? So your own is that by 6:30, you are there, right? You have missed all the other people who would have given killer speeches that could have killed your confidence. So you are just there, come, perform, and go. Now let's go on to, what was the other point? Okay, surround yourself, people. Okay, my marker is surround yourself with supportive people. This one is a funny one. You have to surround yourself with people who would like to see you grow. And those people would, especially, they should also have been in the game. The best people who would help you grow, help you build confidence, are people who are doing exactly what you are doing and are supportive to you. So you are a singer, there's another singer who is also good and has built all the confidence in the world, and then she sees that you don't have confidence. She'll be like, oh yeah, she hypes you up. Maybe she sings a part with you, she harmonizes with you. That thing builds up confidence quick. There's another remedy: surrounding yourself with people who criticize you, chastise you. The reason I don't want to add that one is that everybody has a different temperament. Me, oh my goodness, if someone doubts me, that's when I get gingered up. I'm like, hey, do you know who I am? Nobody doubts me. But some people, if you doubt them, they dwindle. So I don't want to include the surround yourself with people who chastise you or people who like look down on you, because if you confidence, I don't want to say it's a muscle, but confidence is practice. The only reason you are confident is if you planned. Listen, the only reason why you become confident is if you plan to do something and you do it. So now you are confident in the ability that you can do what you said you wanted to do. That is all confidence is. So if you have never done something before, you probably might not be confident, right? So if somebody goes there and doubts me, like, hey, wait, why? Like, yo, do you know who I am? Do you know how many times I've done it? Do you know how many times I've practiced it? I'll show you. So now let me go with the last one. Mindset and self-belief. This is what I was talking about previously. Mindset and self-belief. Now, the only time you get this mindset as if you have done it for a long time. Like, I've done this thing, I've played this piano, I've sung. What are you going to show me that I can't do it? I can do it. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You should always have a mindset in your head. Now, the reason why we are also confident is that we make mistakes, but we have found a way to solve those mistakes multiple times, that now we know that if this mistake happens, this is what happens. That's how we are confident. I think this self-belief is very self-explanatory. This thing comes with practice, ton of practices, and from the previous points that I mentioned. Right. I hope you learned a lot from this beautiful TED Talk that I give to you. And until then, I wish you the best in your music career. Peace out.